Hi friends, it's Linda here. Have you ever been out hiking in nature and found something really cool? Something like this? Any guesses as to where or who this came from? If you guessed a white-tailed deer, you are correct. The deer is the topic of conversation this week, and there's a lot of cool facts about deer. So let's learn about some of them. If the deer has antlers, then that tells you it's a male deer, otherwise known as a buck. But the confusing part is they do shed their antlers once a year, usually in the month of January or February. So it was once believed that you could look at the antlers, and by looking at them you could tell how old the deer was by the size of the antlers or by the number of points that it has. But we have learned that that's actually not a very accurate way to determine how old the deer is. The size of the antlers and the number of points have more to do with their nutritional value, like how well the deer has been eating, and really it's all about genetics or their background. The only way to really tell how old they are is by looking at their teeth. And unless you're a pretty fancy animal dentist, you're not going to be doing that. A female deer is called a doe, and they give birth to 1 or 2 fawns in the months of May or June. In order to protect them from predators, they actually hide them in the forest or in the fields and leave them alone by themselves for several hours. Because they have very little scent, they're actually safer away from her. And did you know that a baby deer can actually stand up on its own only 30 minutes after being born? Deer like to eat green plants, nuts, and tree bark. And like a cow, they have 4 separate compartments in their stomach that allow them to digest food more efficiently, which basically means they can eat things that other mammals cannot. Because their eyes are on the side of their head, they can see 310 degrees around them, which is pretty impressive considering we can only see 180 degrees. The average lifespan of a deer ranges from 6 to 14 years of age, and they can run up to 58 kilometers per hour. Probably the coolest thing about them is their ability to jump, though. They can jump about 2.5 meters high, which is pretty much from floor to ceiling without any problem, and they can actually jump almost the entire length of a school bus. Now, how cool is that? So where did the white-tailed deer get its name? Many believe it has to do with a behavior that they have called flagging. When they sense danger, they raise their tail in the air, almost like waving a white flag to warn other deer. Winter can be tough on deer, but they have some pretty cool physical and behavioral adaptations to help them deal with it. Their fur is more like hair, and it's hollow inside and able to trap in some of the heat to help keep them warm. They also do something called yarding, which basically means they group together with other deer and create a whole series of trails through the forest to help them to conserve their energy when traveling through deep snow. That's all for now. Don't forget to get outside and enjoy nature.